Welcome back, students, for this YouTube channel, Puriyaram Kalpam, for the course Computer Networks Practical Component. Today, we are going to discuss about the basic switching commands which we have to implement in a switch when connecting in a local area network using packet tracer. So these are the course outcomes which we will be attaining at the end of this course. And today's experiment, today's topic will be helping you to attain you can able to perform inter-switching connectivity. I'm not going to mention about troubleshooting. At the end of this course, you will be able to perform this inter-switch connectivity. Straightly moving to the course, these are the commands which we are going to discuss today. That is the basic switching commands. We shall discuss all these commands in a practical manner. So let me open this Cisco Packet Tracer tool here. In that, use this last icon, network devices. In that, select the switch. I'm taking a random 29606. And as an end device, I'm connecting a PC here. So now, I'm going to configure the switch using these basic commands. So I'm selecting the switch here and go to the CLI window. So now here we can able to observe the basic descriptions of the switch. That is the name of the switch is switch 1 and number of ports are 26. In this 26 ports, we will be having 24 ports for fast Ethernet and 2 ports for gigabit Ethernet. And this is a switch model and this is a switch version. So now look at this one. Here we will be getting a report as press return to get it started. Here give an enter option. After giving enter, we will be getting this type of thing. It is a switch with a greater one marks. This particular thing is called as, now this particular command, this is the first command in the switch, which will be mentioning that our switch is in the user access mode. So this one, this is the first command. This is the first one, that is the switch is in the user. User execution mode means where we can able to access the switch, but we cannot able to configure the switch. So there are two types of modes here. One is called as user mode, the other is called as privileged mode. So in the user mode, we can able to just make use of this switch, but we cannot able to configure or we cannot able to modify anything there. So to configure a switch, we need to enter into a privileged mode. So we are moving to the next one called as privileged mode. So let me take the window here. So now the switch is in a basic user mode. So now I am giving it as enable, ENABLE. Or else you can also give it as shortly as EN also. Either EN or in the full form enable. After giving enable, give a enter. So now the switch, look at this one, switch followed by the hash symbol, which means the switch is entering into the privileged mode. Now we can able to configure this particular switch. So which means, I repeat, this particular command, the switch with a greater with that symbol is called as this to identify that or to indicate that switch is in the basic user execution mode. And from user execution mode, we can move to the privileged mode by giving a command called as enable. So now the command has been moved to the switch followed by asterisk symbol mentioning that switch is moved to the privileged mode. So now to configure this one, in this privilege, we have to configure this one. So to configure this one, we can able to give as CONFIG. Either I can give it as full or else I can give it a short form, that is CONFIG space T. T stands for terminal. Suppose நமக்கு வந்து இது மறந்து போச்சு. T தரணுமா இல்லை என்ன ஆல்பபெட் தரணும் அப்படின்னு தெரியல. ஜஸ்ட் கான்ஃபிகர் மட்டும் கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னா, if I am giving just as configure means we'll be asking configure from terminal, memory or network terminal. எது கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ணணும் கேக்குது. So now we have to configure the terminal. So I'm giving as T here. So I repeat, we have to give privilege mode. நம்ம configure mode க்கு move பண்றதுக்கு we have to give it as config space T. Once again, I will be repeating this one. So look at this one. Now the switch is in switch as the symbol represents it. Switch is in the privileged mode. So the configure mode move பண்ணது we are giving as config space T and give us enter. So now we can able to observe that switch in open bracket in bracket configure, which means now in the privileged mode the switch is in the configuration mode where we can able to configure the switch now. So in this configure we can rename the switch. What is the name of the switch now? The name of the switch is just a switch. But we can able to rename the switch now. This is an optional thing. This is not a mandatory one. நமக்கு வேணும் அப்படின்னா இதை யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். இது mandatory கிடையாது. So, but we can learn that one. So, how to rename the switches? I can give it as HOST host NAMA without space. Host name type பண்ணுங்க. HOST NAMA host name space any name. For example, I'm giving the name as IFPT. So after that, give enter. So now we can able to observe that the normal name switch has been renamed as IFPT. So now the switch has been renamed. So switch எப்படிதான் நம்ம வந்து rename பண்ண முடியும். Is it clear? So the first command is, the first command is, this is this first command, switch with a greater than symbol that is called as user mode. And then switch to convert this user mode into privilege mode, we are given enable. And now the switch has been moved to the privilege mode. And privilege mode, switch configure control, we are giving as config T. Config T கொடுத்தோம் அப்படின்னா, now the switch has been moved to the configuration mode. அதுல நாம we can able to rename the switch with any name. இங்க நாம switch நாம வந்து rename பண்ணிருக்கோம். Now, after this one, suppose எனக்கு இந்த basic configuration முடிஞ்சிருச்சு. I want to come out of the configuration mode, or I want to come out of this privilege mode அப்படின்னா, coming out means we are going to exit. EXIT, give enter. Once again, so enter கொடுத்தோன்னே என்னாச்சு? From configuration mode. Look at this one. From configuration mode, it had moved to the basic privileged mode. Now privileged mode ல இருந்து வெளில வரணும் அப்படின்னா, once again give enter. Now look at this one. The switch is in a privileged mode. மறுபடியும் நான் exit கொடுத்தேன் அப்படின்னா, the switch will be moved to the basic user access mode. So exit mode will be helping you to come out of the configuration mode or to come out of the privileged mode back to the user mode itself. So now, இதெல்லாம் இந்த இது வரைக்கும் பார்த்த கமெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாமே ஒரு பேசிக் கமெண்ட்ஸ். எல்லா இடத்துலையும் நம்ம மேக்ஸிமம் யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். So now we are moving to the some advanced commands like switch. Whenever we are accessing a switch, a default message has to be displayed. ஒரு switch நான் வந்து ஆக்சஸ் பண்ணும்போது அது டிஃபால்ட்டா ஒரு வெல்கம் மெசேஜ் டிஸ்ப்ளே ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, what command I have to use? For that, user mode வந்து once again I am moving to the privileged mode. So for that I am giving enable or shortly en கொடுத்துட்டு give as enter. Enter கொடுத்தீங்கன்னா now it is moving to the privileged mode. Privileged mode வந்து நான் configure mode மூவ் பண்றேன். So for that I am giving config. எதை configure பண்ண போறோம்? We are going to configure the terminal. So config T enter. So now we are going to display some message in a switch. Whenever we are accessing a switch or whenever any user is accessing a switch, this particular message has to be displayed. Okay, so for this, for displaying a message, we have to use a command called as banner. BANNER, banner space MOTD. MOTD stands for message of the day. M stands for message, O stands for of, T stands for the, D stands for day, message of the day. So banner space message of the day. What message we are going to give? Look at this one. I given a command as banner space. Banner means to display a message. எதை display பண்ண போறோம்? Message display, message of the day display பண்ண போறோம். அப்புறம் followed by space ஒரு question mark. Question mark means என்ன மெசேஜ் நீங்க டைப் பண்ண போறீங்க. மறுபடியும் நமக்கு அதே கமாண்டே வரும். மெசேஜ் ஆஃப் தி பேனர் ஸ்பேஸ் மெசேஜ் ஆஃப் தி டே நவ் கிவ் அஸ். இப்போ என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா After this one, if நம்ம மெசேஜ் டைப் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கோம், end of the message எப்படி நம்ம represent பண்ணலாம்? ஒரு மெசேஜ் நான் டைப் பண்ணி முடிச்சோடனே this is the end of the message. How to mention or how to alert as a switch that this is the end of the message. அப்போ we have to use any character. For example, I am using dollar symbol. இங்க டாலர் சிம்பிள் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுமா? Is there any restriction that dollar symbol must be used? No, it's not like that. I can use dollar symbol, or I can use percentage symbol, or I can use ampersand symbol, or I can use at symbol, whatever thing may be. But here I'm using dollar symbol, and I'm giving enter. Now look at the report. Enter the text message in the character with a dollar. So now I'm going to enter the text message. Just I'm giving all as start followed by let me give a sample message, that is welcome to IFPT College of Engineering. My YouTube channel name is Puriyalan by Dr. T. So this is the message, and this is the closing. So after this, I have typed the message. So now my message has been over. The how to indicate the switch that the message has been over? I have to give the symbol dollar because I have preferred dollar symbol. So I'm giving dollar means giving enter. So now what we have done is we have given a message to be displayed in a switch whenever the switch has been accessed. So let me check whether the message has been displayed. So just come out of this, just come out of this configuration mode and just come out of this privilege mode also. Now we are having a basic thing. So let me close this particular dialog box, and then coming to this one, I am accessing a switch. When I am accessing a switch, it will be giving a same window. And when I am giving a enter, look at this one, it is giving the message what I have given there. Welcome to IFPT College of Engineering, Puriyalan Pakkam by Dr. T. Prabhakar. So hope you all understand how to give a message. So whenever your switch has been accessed, this particular message will be popping up there. So that when any external user is trying to connect with a switch, this particular message will be displayed there. So what for we are using this messages? For identification purpose. Maybe suppose the next experiment will be, we will be discussing about a virtual LAN. Suppose, for example, in a network or else in an organization, we are using multiple number of switch, means we might not be aware which switch belongs to which particular department. Suppose I'm having two departments. One is CS department, another one is EC department. Means in the switch of EC department, I'll be mentioning as ECE. So that whenever any user is accessing their corresponding system, it will be giving and indicating that this is a switch belongs to the EC department. So for this purpose, we are giving this pop-up message, and the command here is, I repeat, command here is banner space MOTD space question mark. So now I'm coming to the next one, that is how to set a password for this. So here in a switch, we have two types of password. One is called as console password. Console password in the sense, whenever we are connecting a device using console port, we can able to use this particular password, or else next one is called as secret password. Secret password in the sense, whenever a user is trying to configure a switch, this particular secret password will be giving. So what for we are using the secret password is, this secret password will be used only by the network administrator to protect the switch from unauthorized configurations. So let me first start the protection of switch for using console password. So now the switch is in, look at this one, now the switch is in a basic user mode. I'm moving to the privilege mode. So enable, and I'm moving to the configuration of terminal, that is global configuration. And this is called as global configuration mode. So config T, now it is given as config. So now the first, here the first password is, we are going to give a console password, line console password. So I'm giving as command is LINE space console, CONSOLE console. I'm giving for all ports, so I'm giving as 0. Line console 0. Enter means, now look at this one. the command has been, the mode has been changed. That is IFPT is the name of the switch. Now I'm going to configure the line. So what password I can give here? Give it as password space. Give any password. Maybe I'm giving as system ECE at 123. Now the password has been set. You can give exit, and if you are giving exit means it will be coming back to the configuration mode itself. You can give to exit, it will be moved to the basic privilege mode, and from privilege mode it can be moved to the basic to the uh, normal user access. Now the second type of password is secret password. This secret password is used. What for using secret password is to protect the switch from unauthorized configuration. So before stepping into this secret password, let me check this console password. Now I am going to connect this particular switch with a PC here. I'm using a connection here. I'm using a default thing, sorry, console thing here. So now right click this one. I'm giving as a RS232 to here it giving as console. I will select this one. Select this PC. Here config. Let's go. Repeat. Select the system. In this give terminal. In this give just go through this code configuration and give it as OK. We'll be having this one IFPT. Now look at this one. The switch is in a basic user access mode. Give it as enter and sorry, give enable. Enable means will be going to configuration mode. So now config space T. So here it will be asking for a password. So here only we have to give the corresponding line console password. Now we are moving. So let me remove this one. Now once again I'm moving to the switch here. Now I'm going to give a secret password for the switch to protect the switch from unauthorized access. So give enable space. This is a secret password. So secret space, give the password. Let the password be IFPT at 123. Give it as enter. Give exit. And from the privilege mode, back to the user access mode. So now when any system, I'm coming out of, when any system is going to configure, when any user is trying to configure the switch means, we'll be giving as enable here. And if you're giving enable means it will be asking for a password. So here we have to give the secret password. What is the secret password? IFPT at 123. Suppose, let us consider, I'm an unauthorized user. I'm giving some bad password here. A wrong password. I'm giving as ABC at 123. Remember, the password will not be displayed here for this security purpose. So since the password is wrong, it is once again asking for a password. I'm giving some other password ABC at 148. Once again, the password is wrong. Now I'm giving as XYZ at 123. So if I am giving 3 consecutive wrong password means it will be mentioning as bad secrets, which means all the passwords, all the 3 attempts have been failed. So once again, I'm trying enable. I'm giving with the right password. That is IFPT at 123. Now look at this one. Since I'm giving a right password, now the IFPT, the switch has been moved from the user access mode to the privilege mode. So likewise, we can able to set a secret password for this switch. Suppose I need to remove the secret password. How to remove the secret password? Here we are given this enable here. Look at this one. Here we are given as enable, but there is no command in the Cisco packet tracer that there is no command like disable. So opposite term for enable is no enable. Look at this one. No enable secret. SCCRET. give as enter. So I'm not moved to the configure mode. So config T. Now give as no. No enable means it is a disable. Which thing we are going to disable? We are going to disable the secret password. Give it as enter. Give exit. And then once again give exit. Now, if you are accessing for any switch means you are giving as enable means it will be straight away moving to the user mode to the privileged. So, students, hope you all might come across, all these commands that is starting from first command is user access mode. Another one is from user access mode, we are moving to the privileged mode using the command enable. And from privileged mode, we can move to the configuration mode. You can use the command config space T. And then we have discussed about how to display a message in the switch. And then we have discussed about how to set a console password and a secret password for this switch. So if you have any doubts, you can raise it in the chat box. And with this experiment, with this particular experiment, coming to the PO mapping. So because of this experiment, whether we are gained some basic knowledge, yes, of course, we are gained a basic knowledge. Whether we can able to analyze the problems, moderately we can able to analyze problems. Whether we have designed or developed any solution here, maybe. So I am giving as moderate. I can able to conduct investigation on complex problems. Whether we have used any data here, or we are not used any data here, so it is not mapping. Whether we had used any modern tool usage, yes, we had used Cisco packet traces, so strongly mapping. Whether this experiment is supporting for engineering society development, of course it is supporting. And whether this experiment is supporting environmental sustainability, definitely not. And whether this experiment is supporting you ethics, you to develop ethics, maybe. So I'm giving as moderate. And this experiment is giving you any individual or teamwork, maybe moderately. And whether this experiment is supporting you to develop communication, maybe when you're giving any explanation to the audience, we can able to develop communication. So moderately, weekly communication will be developed. Whether this experiment will be helpful in project management, yes, of course, moderate. And whether this experiment will be used for lifelong learning, strongly. So these are the mapping of this experiment with the program. So if you have any doubts, you can comment in the chat box. And for further videos, you can refer to this corresponding YouTube channel, Korea. Thank you, students.